All right, we got Blood Penguin versus Black Knight. Blood Penguin, I know he was going for. Lucinia Marsic hosted a event on our ladder where he would reward you for all the different lords you played. So Blood Penguin was rolling through some silly, silly lords. Looked like he was on the Tyrant, but he didn't bring a Firebelly. He brought a Butcher. Whoa. Okay. I have possibly never seen these guys. Extra ingredients and troll guides. Okay, so he's just like the Lord here. Got it. You also have a Tyrant. Looks like he only brought snacks, his passive regen, nothing else. Front line of Gnoblars and Gnoblar Trappers, some Sabertusk packs, post-Rampage fixes, which were huge for them. Just getting rid of the bug that would make them infinitely Rampage made that unit so, so good. We have Crushers with Iron Fists, Mornfang Cav with Iron Fists, and then the Snowhorn of Morn, Stonehorn ROR, Smoker Bowls in there too. The other side for Wood Elves, a whole front line of Eternal Guard with shields. Then we have Dhurthu, Big Daddy Dhurthu, Curse Founder here, Flock of Doom, and Sword of Daith. Have some great Stag Knights, Wildwood Ranger RORs, some Dryads, Low Extrictors, War Dancer, Azrai Spirit RORs, and then Glade Riders rolling around as well. So it's a lot of spears versus the Ogres. I am shocked and surprised. Snowhorn of Morn gets in there. He does have 20% missile resistance. He can get 20% more with Glacial Defense if he pops it. Great Stag Knights trying to get a charge onto Sabertusk packs and the Tyrant. Dhurthu's walking over. Could be a bad day to be a Tyrant. But Dhurthu is just going to T-pose. He stands there ominously. Finally decides to swing. It took him quite a while to do so. Ogre Bulls fighting along the front line with all these Eternal Guard. Eternal Guard should trade well there. We'll see what the Mornfang Cav and Crushers could do. Crushers with their Iron Fists trying to get involved. Pushing off some Elves. Great Stag Knights backing off to refresh their charge or something, while Gnoblar Trappers pursue him a little bit. Tyrant's having a bad old time. He's not enjoying this whatsoever. And there's not a lot of blob punishment spells the Ogres brought. They didn't bring the Maw or like Bone Crusher or something. Crusher's gonna leave. Ogre Bull's also leaving, and the Tyrant's trying to get out of here as well, and he does actually manage to. I'm surprised he got out of all those spears so easily, but looks like they were scattered enough for him to go. Dhurthu is in hot pursuit, just trying to keep the Tyrant on the back foot. And the Wood Elf front line appears to be winning overall. So what can the Ogres do? Nice Flock of Doom on some of the Gnoblars and Sabertusk backs, just getting good poke out. The Tyrant's back in it, trying to keep his snacks going. I think his snacks only work in melee. Yeah, so he's just trying to keep healing up. He did have his Crushers with the Iron Fist get through the front line, get him the Great Stag Knights yet again. Snowhorn of Morn is taking a lot of damage. Looks like he's going for a charge onto Graced Eternal Guard, so he stops dead as soon as he charges them. He doesn't get a lot of damage out, unfortunately. Low Stristers are still after him. Dhurthu's also offering a bit of support, though the Snowhorn just walks away with his, like, infinite mass. Skirmish Cabin, Great Stag Knights pushed off. Meanwhile, the Crushers, think about fighting the Wards of Sithral for a second. Looks like they're indecisive about it. Some of them are trying to leave, some aren't. But they really shouldn't fight the Wardens of Sithral there. It's not going to be a good fight for them. Other Mornfang Cav trying to churn through Dryads. Another Flock of Doom. Just trying to punish the Butcher and the Snowhorn. Snowhorn does need a nice big heal at some point. We still have Gnoblars and Ogre Bulls trying to kill off the Eternal Guard. It's not going well for them. Balance power is in the Wood Elves' favor. Dhurthu is walking through Crushers to try and get the Snowhorn, who just charges away from him. Dhurthu should probably just fight whoever he can. He's been spending a lot of this game standing around like a dumbass. In comes a heal. It is for the Crushers with Iron Fists. Considering how much damage they've taken, I think that is a good choice. Snowhorn just charges up into Eternal Guard and deals that. What is happening over here? The Tyrant is all alone, surrounded by Great Stag Knights and Skirmish Cav. It looks like he's going through it. Would not want to be him. Dhurthu moves over to this Butcher of the Great Maw. We do have some Gnoblar Trappers that need to come back. We have Mornfang Cav and Crushers running around doing some good work. But the Crushers are going to get a charge onto the Great Stag Knights, who the Tyrant is doing decent work against. Now he's losing a lot of HP and just regenning through it, but at least he's fighting back a bit. Crushers will push off those Great Stag Knights and things will be fine. The caster of the Great Maw retreating from Dhurthu. And Ogre slowly coming back in it as the Crushers have secured the Tyrant. Protect the President, etc. Snowhorn getting a downhill charge. Glacial Defense gives him 140 armor, but he stops dead on Dhurthu and gets slapped in the face for his efforts. Now he's trying to get past the way, but he takes too long and takes another hit, even though he is getting constant commands to leave this fight. He's just so slow about it, he will rout. Crusher's nearly heal capped, chasing off Great Stag Knights. Sabertooth packs are eating up some Eternal Guard for a little bit of extra Ogre's passive. Bounce power is slightly Wood Elf favorite, though slightly is a key word here. Mournfang Cav still trying to charge down any Dryads they can get their hands on. Novel Trappers just avoiding them for now, realizing the Crushers will take them out in due time. Skirmish Cav chasing the Butcher of the Great Maw, poking him with their little arrows here and there, and Dhurthu is walking ominously towards him. The Dhurthu is slower than I think anything on the Ogre Kingdom's roster besides Noblars. He's the same speed as Noblars. He's slower than everything else, so the Butcher should be able to avoid him without much issue. Meanwhile, any Wood Elves outside of the main formation are getting cleaned up by the Ogre Kingdoms. Chasing off those Dryads, chasing off this Eternal Guard. We do still have 3 very healthy Skirmish Cavs, so if anything roused, they could chase it off, like the Snowhorn of Morn is currently. But for the Ogres, I am extremely worried about these Crushers. There's not a lot left that could deal with them, and if they get a good surround on Dhurthu without spear support, like he is right now, they could probably do a lot of damage to him. But it looks like instead, they're just going to try and sandwich in the spear support and kill them before Dhurthu gets there. Nice Sword of Daith cast onto the Crushers and the Mournfang Cav. Got some good damage out, especially onto the Crushers, since, of course, they're near their heal cap, so why not? Mournfangs could probably get a Troll Guts or a Butcher somewhere down the line. The Noblars are starting to kite it out, shooting at Dhurthu a bit. As these other Mournfang think about going to help the Snowhorn, but it's down to 100 HP and falling as those Blade Riders rear charge it. And now the Mournfangs themselves are in trouble as they get charged by Glade Riders. The Wardens of... these are Loix Tricksters. Loix Tricksters are here to run them down, get a little bit of damage out. Butcher is coming in. Should give them fresh vigor once again, and then a big old heal. And Ogre Bulls with Iron Fist rear charge the Loix Tricksters. Their leadership is getting low. I wonder if the Mournfang Cav charge back in after resetting, if they could rout those guys. Crusher is going to isolate and attack Dhurthu. We did say that this would be a good moment to do so. Big damage on the charge, and there are no Wood Elves nearby to really help out. A lot of the spears are getting dragged around the map and peeled off. Looks like Great Stag Knights... Sorry, I wish these were Great Stag Knights. The Glade Riders are going to charge into the Noblars, push them away, free up the Wardens of Sithril to come help out Dhurthu just a little bit, and Dhurthu fights his way free of the Crushers, who did get a Troll Guts that has officially hit them at their heal cap. There is no healing for them whatsoever left. Mournfang Cav fighting the Loix Tricksters on the high ground while getting rear charged by the Glade Riders, who are just going to use last their ammo on those guys. Bounce power shifting into the Ogre Kingdom's favor, but a bit of a whoopsie. The Butcher of the Great Maw overextends, and Dhurthu should be able to finish him off with one swing here. One swing. There we go. Now his leadership's too low. I extremely doubt he comes back in this game ever, even if he doesn't literally die. Dhurthu's just going to ignore them. I think that's a smart play. Nobbler Trappers going to get run down by Dhurthu and the Glade Riders. On the high ground, however, the Mournfang Cav and Crusher teams finally finished off Loix Tricksters, and the Glade Riders are just opting out of that fight entirely. Dhurthu and the lads trying to kill off last these Nobblars. Gets a Flock of Doom out. Doesn't manage to hit this last Nobbler Trapper, but hits several other ones. Causes some terror routes and stuff. Butcher the Great Maw, negative 15 leadership. His damage sustained is minus 80, though. That's why I don't think he's coming back, because he can't. His leadership couldn't ever get above 80. So we'll see. Wardens of Sithril, not the unbreakable ones. I think those are the Winterheart Guard or something. So these guys, we do have spear support for Dhurthu again. We did say that was a big victory condition, as if Dhurthu can fight while on top of spears. Mournfang Cav do charge in. They still have healing they could get, though. We'd need a Butcher, because like I said, the army ability Butcher, not the literal Butcher. God damn it, Ogre Kingdoms. Why did you name so many things the same way? Wardens of Sithril trying to fight it out. Curse of Honor here is down onto the Crushers, lowering their stats for the Glade Riders that just charged in. Dhurthu is swinging, and anytime he swings is a good day for the Wood Elves. The longer he wanders around and does nothing, the worse it is for them. Butcher is officially dead. The unit Butcher, not the army ability Butcher. God damn it. You have Dwarf Rangers, you have Elf Rangers. Everything on the Wood Elf roster is a Glade or Eternal Guard of some kind. And then, of course, you make a brand new faction. You have to name it fucking Butcher and Butcher. Everything's a Butcher. Anyway, Wardens of Sithral look like they're going to rout any second here. Soon to leave Dhurthu to his own devices. Ogre's still rallying a bunch of forces from around the world. And we do have a randomly healthy Eternal Guard in the backfield here fighting with the Tyrant and stuff. Little Flock of Doom to poke down those Mournfang Cav. And the Crusher's taking a lot of damage. The Wardens of Sithral did not end up routing. They're very tenacious in their defense of Dhurthu. And can these Eternal Guard do it? Oh, they're trying. Blade Riders charging in here and there. The Ogre Kingdom's leadership, some of their units are very, very low in leadership and could actually rout at any moment. With the Wardens of Sithral dying soon, it is nice that these Eternal Guard did manage to regroup with Dhurthu. And the Tyrant, still alive to provide that leadership for the Ogre Kingdoms, but he has to be careful about not getting too close to Dhurthu. We saw how that went for him earlier. Tear out in from the Ogre Bulls, tear out in for the other Bulls, and now the Tyrant is face to face with the Tree God. Takes a slap to the face. He did take a little bit of damage. Takes another hit on the way out, and that is a bit of a disastrous scenario for the Ogre Kingdoms. Wood Elves still have some Eternal Guard who are about to get rear charged by Mournfang Cav. Dhurthu needs to counter that charge. He's over chasing after the Tyrant, gets a little out of position, starts to wander back, but it is too late for his Eternal Guard, who gets sandwiched in without him there. A Flock of Doom will kind of punish the Ogres for their transgressions. It's too late for the Eternal Guard, they're out. Crusher's at 9 models out of 12 and 2,500 HP. 9 models out of 12 for the Mournfang Cav, 3,000 HP. Wardens of Sithral still by Dhurthu's side. We also have some Blade Riders who charge back in. Can they hold these guys in place long enough for Dhurthu to actually get here and get a couple swings off? He does get a shot on the Mournfang Cav with Iron Fists. And the Glade Riders try and get away. These other Glade Riders think about hopping in. Wood Elves are up in the balance of power. More Glade Riders are in, and Dhurthu really is just trying to hold these piggies in place so he can beat them up. That's all he wants out of life. The Tyrant's coming back in. If Dhurthu can snipe him, that could be pretty good, but I could also see him just running away and wasting Dhurthu's time yet again. Dhurthu just lurks. Gets hit in the back with some Iron Fist Mournfang Cav. Turns and decides to fight it out. Smart decision. But in come the Crushers. He has 6 Wardens of Sithral still left, so it's really not enough spear support to truly be spear support. Any Glade Riders that are alive should come back into the fight. Massacre is out, though, giving them terror, which the Ogres have not had up to this point. But the Crushers with Iron Fist taking too much damage. Their leadership goes negative for just a second. Dhurthu is falling on HP, but can he hold long enough? He can't terror out these guys while they have Massacre popped, because, of course, the Massacre gives them terror. But the Crushers naturally rout. So do the Ogre Bulls, leaving just the Mournfang Cav with Iron Fists here. They're still beating up on Dhurthu, and these Wardens of Sithral do not give up. They're down to 1 model, 84 HP, and they're still here to offer just that little bit of support as Glade Riders are routing for the umpteenth time. Dhurthu's still at 3,100 HP. Mournfang Cav down to 1,900, and their leadership actually goes negative for a brief second. The Tyrant's thinking about taking a fight. Mournfang Cav get an uphill charge into the Glade Riders. Will rout them off. And haven't seen a Butcher for a while. I have to imagine that he doesn't have the army passive charge necessary for it. Dhurthu gets charged by the Mournfang Cav. He is fighting his way out, though. He has twice their HP, but he takes a big shot in the back from the Tyrant. He is doing his best, but he's getting torn down. All of a sudden, the Mournfang Cav terror out away. Dhurthu's alive and back. Can he turn around and face the Tyrant? The single Warden of Sithral is still there, but other Ogre Bulls charge back in. Dhurthu's taking too much damage. Finally, the Wardens of Sithral rout, and they just straight up shatter from their time. Dhurthu turning around to fight. 17 leadership left. He is getting poked down by these Ogre Bulls who tear out away and get rear charged by the Glade Riders. But Dhurthu goes negative on leadership. He's going to rout, and that causes army losses. The Tyrant is the last man standing. And I am shocked he routed there. Just like how strong his leadership was until all of a sudden it was not. For Blood Penguin, his Tyrant didn't get a lot of value, neither did his caster. Snow Horror of Morn also had some issues. The Mournfang Cav and the Crushers did amazingly well. Ogre Bulls did fine. Noblard Trappers did very, very well. And Saber-Tooth Backs did fine. For Black Knight, Dhurthu did amazing. Great Stag Knights got rolled. Glade Riders, with their skirmishing, did well. And then the Spears overall did well, but mostly it was the 2 RORs that had a great day. Dryads, fine.
Roar. Subscribe, yes, yes.